I don't know why. I find this the funniest thing. All right. Let me turn down the music. I'm gonna turn down the music. All right, wait, not that low. So, you're about to see me. I mean, you can already see it in the thumbnail, but all of you are about to see me in all of my cosplay glory. I am currently covered in green. My bathroom literally looks like I murdered Kermit the Frog. All right, who's ready? Who's ready for my Tendy cosplay? All right, ready? Wait, no! Where's the button? How do I get it to come up? There we go. Wait, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom! Boom! Look at me! Look at me being all green. It's not easy being green. Look at that. I even got the hand. Well, up to a point, the hand is green. This hand is also not. This hand has some green on it, but is not green at all because I had to hold stuff in this hand. But this hand was going to be filmed. How is everybody? How is everyone? Jessie Greener. Hello, everyone. I murdered Kermit the Frog. Yeah, I did murder Kermit the Frog. So I have some stories to tell. But I just want to quick say hi to everyone. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Molly Cass the Lass. Hello, Catherine Lambeth. It's like the color correction's way off. Yeah, I'm not green at all. This is all just color correction. Catherine Lambeth, good to see you. Homebody, SK Meals. Oh, thank you, Catherine Lambeth. Since you're here, reminded me I actually have some mail from you and from a couple other people that I want to open, so I'll go grab that in just a hot second. But who else? Who else is here? Jedi Indiana Jones. By the way, sending you love, Jedi Indiana Jones. I know that you said you weren't feeling good today, so I'm sending you extra love to you. Punk Rock Zoologist, good to see you. Lizzie the Pagan, good to see you. Your lights are super bright. Yeah, well, it's actually not the light, so this is actually the window. Let's see if I can kind of close it. One second. I'll see if I can close this. Let's see if that'll make it a little bit better. It's not the lights, it's the fact that my window is open because I have the air conditioner in the way. So now the air conditioner is not on though, so the air conditioner kind of blocks the curtain coming down, but I can put the curtain over it because I'm not using the AC right now. Turn down the sun. But yeah, how is everyone doing? Good to see everyone. So yeah, as you can see, I am doing a currently attendee cosplay, though my hand is still not green. Because earlier today I was actually filming a video, a kind of a self-care video sorry if you're hearing police sirens, by the way, there's some police sirens going by. But earlier today, I was filming a video on Star Trek Lower Decks, because I wanted to self-care today. A lot of the videos that I've been making the past 2 weeks, and honestly, have been about harder topics, whether it be like anti-trans stuff or like death and grief and things like that. So it's been kind of hard lately. So oh my gosh, I'm really sorry if you're. There's the police siren. Of course, the police sirens wait. At least they're not doing it when I was filming, but of course the police sirens wait until I'm live to be on here. But I just wanted to self-care and talk about something that I really loved. And with Star Trek Lower Decks coming up, and Lower Decks being kind of my favorite modern Trek show and one of my favorite Trek shows, I just wanted to take the time. Oh my gosh. Can you hear that? Calm down. Dear Lord. I don't know if you can hear that on the mic, but like the sirens are crazy. Something must be happening right outside my window, which is annoying. But yeah. So sorry that I murdered Kermit, everybody. So yeah. So I was filming that video earlier, and also you can kind of tell. So I tried to dye my hair green. You can't really see it very well, but it did not the dye that I used did not work at all, and you just don't see it. And now my hair is like, you can't really tell because I think it looks still fine, and I didn't want to like take a shower because I just had to I wanted to shoot this video. But literally, my hair is just caked. So I'm gonna have to take as soon as this live stream's done. I decided to stay on because I wanted to have this on for the live stream. But as soon as the live stream's done, I'm gonna be taking a long shower. Punk Rock Zoologist, is it okay if I share a link to my fundraiser? My cousin has started to look. Yeah, please do. You're a mod, so you should be able to. Mods should be able to share links. I think non-mods aren't able to. They have to get approval by the mods. But I think as a mod, you should be fine. Sorry, I just see the police are coming to get me because I murdered Kermit. That's the reason. It's because I murdered Kermit. That's why people are coming after me. Oh boy. All right. So before, Vera says she can't make it, but she says hi. I'll have to check out her Harley cosplay. She does a lot more cosplay than I do. Please check out Punk Rock Zoologist, share the GoFundMe. Please check out Punk Rock Zoologist Friends GoFundMe, and send my support. Though, before we get much further into the stream, I'm going to just for people who may be new, if you are new to the stream, if you are new to the channel, if you are new to what this is, just so everyone knows, this is my weekly chat stream. So every single Thursday here on this channel, we sit down, I hang out with everybody, we just talk about whatever you want to talk about, and we just have fun. If you do super chats, you get hearts. So hearts for those who give super chats, and then at the end of the stream, I give a heart to everybody. And obviously, if you give super chats, I answer your questions and sort of your topics. Also, Newt is currently here and rubbing up against the chair. Hi, bud. I don't want to get y'all green, but you can come on up if you want. So yeah, hearts or super chats. Otherwise, we just talk about whatever you want to talk about. We just hang out for an hour, and that's it. But also, before I forget, I just remembered. Before I forget, I'm gonna quick stand up here. Some people sent in some. Let me grab these over here. Some people sent in some stuff to the PO box. So I want to open those on stream real quick. One of these is from someone who I definitely know is in the stream, Catherine Lambeth. This one right here is from Catherine Lambeth, so I wanted to open up that. And thank you for the nice note. You put a note in there too, Catherine. I really appreciate that. We will open these up on stream. Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you for saying the uniform's cute on me. But yeah, no. So we're gonna open these up. And then we'll just hang out and chat about whatever everyone wants to do. But I wanted to open these on stream with everybody. This other one, I don't know who... Well, I have the name of the person on the box here, but Catherine Lambeth, I know, was fine with me saying her name. She said so in the note. This person who sent this box in, I don't know if they want me to say their name. So if you are the person who sent this box in, and you want me to announce, say thank you specifically, I say thank you, obviously, but if you want me to say, like, specifically your name, give you credit, whatever, let me know, and I can give you credit on stream. Otherwise, I'll just open it up and be excited about whatever you gave me and say thank you, anonymously. But I can share your name if you want me to. Alright. Kathleen Beth, let's open up this. This is a belated B-Day gift, by the way. You said you sent it in for my birthday, so... Oh my gosh, I've seen this! I know exactly what this is. I've seen this, and this is amazing. I adore this so much. Oh my gosh, let's see. Wait. I have... Oh my gosh, if it'll open up! There we go! Oh my gosh. Star Trek The Next Generation cats. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. I love it so much. This is adorable. It's got a little Borg kitty on the back there. Look cute as a Borg. Or cute as a Borg. Look cute. Look cute. Look cute as a Borg. Like the cutest. He's the cutest Borg. Like a cute kitty. And then, wait, let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is adorable. Darmok Angelat Tanagra. That's so amazing. I love that so much. It's so freaking adorable. Look at that little kitty. Look at the little kitty in the holodeck. So little kitty in the holodeck is just so cute. It's just so cute. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Catherine. I'll be looking over that. Just want to say... So I'm just quick checking. Did anyone claim this yet? I don't know. So apologies if I missed you in the chat. Let me know if someone claimed in chat stuff. I may have to check them out. I see Molly and Willie stream a bunch. Let's see. Adorb. Sorry, I mean, look cuteness. I appreciate that, Angie. The Lokitia Borg? I guess that word. And the crowd goes wild. I also, Jessie Jendi, by the way, someone on Twitter said that, and I think a few people in the chat, it's like, because I'm wearing the Tenny cosplay, it should be Jessie Jendi. I support that. That is amazing, and I absolutely love that. That is so amazing. Alright, let's open this up. Let's open this up, and we can talk Anna, we can talk Star Trek books in just a second. I just want to quick open up this, how am I going to open this? I need a knife, but I'll just use a pen. I'm going to open up this box, and again, if anyone claimed it, did I get to hold a heart today? Yes, I wish I could. I wish I had, like, a heart for this cosplay. It would be kind of funny to do, like, a heart cosplay with Tendy. I got to hold a heart! Let's see. Alright. Get this open real quick. this. We open this. There we go. All right. Oh, thank you, Corey. Corey, I thought, yeah, I was gonna say, Corey, I thought you weren't really here. Corey and Vale, I thought both of you weren't able to make it, but good to see you. All right, let's see. There's just some newspaper. I think this is probably just, I'm assuming if there's anything. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that just looks like it's just there to pad everything out. And there's a nice letter. Let me just quick check and make sure I should be able to read it. Oh, that's so nice. Awesome. Oh, okay. So these are... Oh! Okay, I actually know what these are. These might... So this person might not actually be here, but this is actually... Oh, these are actually super helpful. So these are actually books researching about science, about trans science, and, yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. So actually, I did hear about this. So these are... Hey, Coffee. Hey, Lucian, good to see you. But these are just, like, some trans science books. So, to help me with some research and things like that, this is absolutely wonderful. So, and actually, the author is the person that sent these to me. These are going to be super helpful, actually. Like, look at this. Look at that. So, this might be actually super helpful in terms of, like, researching and videos and stuff. This is actually really nice. Hell yeah. I always like science. Science is a good thing, especially when, you know, it's actually... studying things instead of just making random facts about trans people. So yeah, this is awesome. Oh, I love this. This is really nice. Hell yes, thank you. If you're in the chat, thank you so much for these. Or if you're watching after the fact, thank you so much. Those are perfect. I love that. That's gonna be really helpful with some of my books. And Newt's now enjoying the box. I'm gonna put this back here because Newt, if you want to get in the box, you can. Is he gonna get in the box? Yep. Oh. You gotta get in the box? Is he gonna do the cat thing? He might do it. You can get in the box. Or are you gonna try and eat the box? That actually is just as likely. He might try and eat the box, in which case I might have to take it away from him. You gonna try and eat the box? Is that what you're gonna do, bud? Because sometimes he tries to eat boxes. And it's probably not good for him. Nope. What are you doing? Okay, he's gonna do his Newt thing. All right. So now that we've opened up those things, thank you again, both Catherine and Beth, and to the other person who's, I don't know if they want me to say their name, but put Newt in the box and ship him to you. No, he's mine. He's mine. As per usual, we're gonna go back to doing the chat stream. So whatever anyone wants to talk about, we can talk about here. I'm open to talking about whatever anyone wants to talk about. If you do super chats, you get a heart, and otherwise we'll just talk about whatever anyone else wants to talk about. Speaking of super chats, though, Ryan R, thank you so much for the super chat, you lovely human. You said, did you have any thoughts on the themes, iconography, and symbolism in the Loki season finale? So I loved the Loki season finale. I thought it was really good. I think some of the... You're asking about themes, iconography, and symbolism. One of the things that I want to mention, and Vera on her review over on Council of Geeks actually brought this up, was how well it did exposition. The exposition on Loki, the season finale, was really, really great. I mean, honestly, a lot of people said the finale was boring for them. Honestly, I will sit in some of my favorite scenes are exposition scenes when they're done well, and scenes that are just like people sitting in a room talking philosophy. I freaking loved that. I thought all of that was absolutely wonderful. I really loved the ending of Loki. I know, and I understand people having problems with the ending of Loki. I absolutely loved it. So in terms of like some of the symbolism and iconography, we're just talking within the MCU. I thought it was very interesting that the house that you know, and again, I won't get into super spoilers about Loki. I won't want to spoil too many people. By the way, we'll keep it fairly spoiler free here as best I can. But I will say how best to put this. The look of the house that they are in the finale looked very similar to a certain other... Well, I'll just say it looked, without spoiling anything specific, it looked very similar, because it's just sort of background stuff. It's just something you can pick up on and talk about. But the background looked like Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum, which has me deeply interested. Again, I don't want to spoil much more than that, but that looked really cool. In terms of themes, I mean, what I liked most as a lefty liberal myself, and I'll say this as a lefty liberal, you're not even liberal, lefty anarchist, I don't even know why I say liberal, that's just sort of the thing, but what I liked about it, and what I think makes Loki work for me a lot more than I think like something like WandaVision, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier is that because Loki is so metaphysical and so like out there and and just like vague, I feel like a lot of its philosophy could end up it ends up staying like you can kind of apply it to anything. So there's a lot of stuff you could kind of put into the Loki finale. Like there's even discussions of like it being anti-religious, right? Like there's a whole bit about the dogma of the timekeepers and things like that. Again, I'll try and keep it spoiler-free vague. That you could read into it and being like, oh, this is sort of saying like an anti-religious thing. Like the guy at the end literally like makes one of those like, oh, in the finale, the person who remains, again, without spoiling too much. And so you could read that into it, but I don't think that's necessarily intentional. And I think that honestly, that makes it work better for me. Because number one, I just like philosophy and metaphysics. I think that's all fascinating stuff. And I'll sit here all day talking about that sort of thing. But some of my issues with other Marvel properties is how I feel that they sort of bungle real world stuff. Like my big problem with like, I enjoyed Falcon and the Winter Soldier for a lot of its elements. But one of the big things that I hated about Falcon and the Winter Soldier was that it really kind of like, and I did a whole video on it that you can watch, is like, it kind of bungled the messaging of like real world anarchist movements, real world why am I blanking on the word? Real world like you know, revolutionary movements. That's the word I was looking for. And it kind of bungled the messaging of like how those people get. I'm not saying that you can't condemn the violence. I mean, obviously, I kind of have, you know, the Flag Smashers in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I kind of ideologically am more aligned with, but I can't say you can't critique them. But I just disliked how they sort of villainized them and overly critique them. And hey, noob, hey, bud. So I thought that them being able to stay a little bit more metaphysical instead of like actually dealing with specifics of real world issues, I kind of liked better, because I feel like a lot of Marvel ends up being kind of propaganda-y. Because, like, for example, they're funded by, number one of the biggest corporations in the United States, Disney. And also, they get a lot of backing from the military. So there's a lot of, like, militarist propaganda with the MCU. Again, I say this as someone who loves the MCU. I enjoy all those movies, but I can also still see problems with them. You know, it's okay to it's okay to love something and also be aware of its flaws. Look at Star Trek. So that was something that I kind of liked a lot about Loki. I think there's a lot of metaphysical stuff and a lot of themes that you could read into it. I think I loved the idea of, I think probably my favorite one to get, and I'll sort of wrap up this super chat and I'll get to some more. My favorite one is, and it's one that one of my favorite other shows of the last year did as well, which is Devs. If you like, by the way, if anyone here likes Loki and you have not seen Devs, go watch Devs. I did a whole video on it as well. Freaking love Devs. If you are a Loki fan, I cannot stress this enough. If you are a Loki fan, go and watch Devs right now. That show is so good. And it's very akin to Loki. It's a little bit more grounded, but still kind of deals with all that same sort of metaphysical alternate timeline. Do we have free will sort of stuff? And I think that's the stuff that I liked about Loki the most, is like this conversation about free will and how much free will do we have, and how if we do have free will, if we don't have free will, we still need to act as if we do, because we don't have, there's no real, like, if we don't have free will, it doesn't matter. If we don't have free will, and that's something that we could even talk about today, like, there's this idea of determinism, like, everything in the universe is sort of already determined. You could look at it sort of a, you know, philosophical godlike way, but you could also look at it as a way of, like, oh, everything has a reaction, so, like, this thing, you throw a ball, it hits a wall, it bounces back. And you can even do that with like, humanity and people are just complex things of chains of reactions, and really anything we do may not be free will. It just might be reacting to the stimuli that we're given, and could be predictable. I mean, that's what algorithms are. Algorithms are literally predicting human behavior. Maybe not to the exact minutia, but it shows that our abilities are minute enough to be predictable, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, I would highly recommend Devs if you like Loki. It kind of talks about the same thing. So that's all that. All right, next super chat. Oh, Nathaniel, by the way, you're asking when Lower Decks is coming back. It's coming back August 11th, I believe. Something that's like the second week of August. I think it's like whatever that second Thursday of August is the week that Lower Decks is coming back. And my video, I'm hoping, depending on how long it takes me to edit it, I'm hoping will come out the week before that. So we'll see how long that takes for me to edit and everything. But yeah, that's when Lower Decks is coming back. Carlisle, the Cinephile. Heart to you, my lovely. You are absolutely wonderful. You said, how long did it take you to paint yourself green? This took about an hour. Took about an hour. I mean, just to do the hand and the face. It was like wet paint. It's like water activated face paint. So it was just like taking a makeup brush and then just like rubbing it on my face for a really long time and trying to cake it. It took about like 3 or 4 layers to get this, and then it's just the makeup. It's just the lipstick, which is kind of faded a little bit. It's been a few hours since I'm wearing this, so I probably would need to apply more lipstick. And then just eyeliner and things like that. That's up here. You could also apply some, I didn't have it, but you could also like darken your eyebrows with like a green eyebrow brush. It would probably be kind of nice to do. And like I said, I tried to do green hair, but it didn't really work, with some temporary hair dye. So this didn't take too long. And then it's just like, this is just eyeliner that I just sort of used to like give myself little facial dots. So this honestly wasn't that hard. It didn't take all that long to do. Took about an hour and a half to get the green on. We'll see how long it takes to get off. Might be easy, might be very hard. The person who I bought the green skin paint from said literally like, oh, it makes you yellow. It tints you yellow for like a day. And I'm like, okay, well, hopefully I don't have to be on camera tomorrow because I'm gonna look yellow. So I might be appearing yellow tomorrow if I have to do any filming or anything like that. But yeah, it took about an hour to do this. Sorry, I'm catching up on the chat. Also, by the way, Lisa, thank you for helping. I just see that something happened in the chat, so I appreciate y'all dealing with that, mods. Heart to you all, mods, for dealing with that person that I just missed. Ulysses the Pagan, heart to you. You are lovely. I adore you. I missed the first 14 minutes of the stream. It didn't auto start. I had to refresh. Can you restart? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll restart the stream for you. We can just go. Hey, interwebs. How is everyone doing? No. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was about surprised because Ulysses, you were here at the beginning before the stream started. I saw you pop it up in the chat, so I'm sorry that you missed the stream, part of the stream, but I'm glad you're here now. Sending you love. Hey Rowan, good to see you. Greetings to you, my friend, as well. Thank you, mods. I'm catching that. Sarah Sweeney, heart to you. You are lovely and I adore you. Thank you so much. First of many back contributions to the beer fund captain. Everyone's saying captain. Tendy's an ensign. I don't even think does she have pips on here? This costume doesn't have pips. That's kind of sad. But yeah, no, I'm a lowly ensign. I shall work my way up one day to being the captain. Or actually, I mean, I guess in real life, people ask me, I feel like I would be a captain. Anyways, this is a sidetrack. Thank you so much. I signed up for Tavor, so hopefully I'll have a maple. Yes, get maple stout, Sarah. Yes, get maple stouts. Get maple stouts. I love maple stouts. They're my favorite beers of all time. I cannot recommend maple stouts more enough. They're so good. So good. Maple stouts are the best thing. Also, I don't only drink if you are old enough and if it is healthy for you. I don't approve drinking for people who don't wish to. I'm not trying to pressure anyone. But if you are comfortable with drinking, if you enjoy drinking like I do, if you're a beer snob like I am, maple stouts, freaking fantastic. Mwah! Best thing. Best thing. Let's see. Why do I enter places when I'm hugely depressed? I'm this depressed since Black Widow. Oh, Abby, I'm sorry that you're depressed. I'm sorry. I'm sending you love. Sending you love, Abby. Extra heart for you, Abby. I'm sorry. But, I'm sorry that you're feeling depressed and stuff. That sucks. I've been there. I've had those days. Definitely had those days. Sending you all the love. Edward Bedor, heart to you. You are absolutely lovely. Jessie, Green Space Babe is one of my favorite looks. Are you trying to tell me something? I did this for you, Edward. I did this for you. I knew it was like, Edward's gonna find this attractive. And so I was like, all right, Edward, this is for you. This is for you, my friend. To be fair, blue is my favorite alien color. I love the Asari. I love blue. We've talked about it. Bone the blue lady is the phrase. So yes, no, but yeah, no, green's nice, but sorry, green, this hand. It's weird, like this hand's green, this hand's not. Also, this one's kind of faded because I've been touching stuff all day. So there's probably green all over my apartment now that I think about it. But we'll deal with that when I deal with that. Newt wondering why you're green. Newt was on my chest earlier today. He was like, I sat down after I filmed the video to take a little bit of a break and I was still green. And he climbed up on the uniform. I'm like, well, I guess he doesn't mind being green. He has no judgment whatsoever. Somewhat happy. Hi, Justin Dinder. What is your view on Adira? For those of you who don't know Adira from Star Trek Discovery, who is the first non-binary, officially non-binary character, like explicitly non-binary character in Star Trek, like human non-binary, in the same way that other human. There have been alien races in there have been alien races in Star Trek that have been non-binary or non-binary coded, but Adira is the first character in Star Trek who is explicitly non-binary and is human non-binary in the same way that human beings in real life are non-binary, which is an important distinction, and it's important to notice, and it's something that I really love. Like, yes, gold star to the people who are like, look, there were non-binary people in Star Trek before. Yes, gold star, you caught the non-binary alien metaphor. It's definitely a thing, and I appreciate those characters, but it is also very, very important to have non-binary characters in Star Trek who are humans who are explicitly non-binary and not binary and not non-binary because of some alien stuff, but are non-binary just because of who they are. That being said, I loved Adira. I think Blue Del Barrio does a phenomenal job as the character. I mean, considering that this is Blue Del Barrio's first acting job, is she bar and away the best actor ever? No, but Blue Del Barrio, they are freaking they do such a great job as the character. I think for their first acting job, they're doing so wonderful. Blue Del Barrio is just fantastic. I think they bring a lot of joy and wonder to the character, and I really appreciate Adira. I have some criticisms. I mean, I've done videos on the criticisms about Adira, but I do have some criticisms. One of them probably would be, I loved Adira's coming out scene. I thought the coming out scene was very well done for what it was. However, there's sort of a metatextual commentary on it in that, like, I wish that Star Trek had been able to be more inventive with that scene in being like, oh, like, maybe just coming out as non-binary is no big deal. Or, like, people just don't assume someone's gender. They already assume that someone's non-binary until they say otherwise. Like, I feel like you could show gender in an interesting way within Star Trek that I don't think the scene really took advantage of. But if we're talking about the show being written today and what people today need to see within a Star Trek show, that scene was well done for what it was. So I kind of hold it in two minds. I think that scene is, Adira's coming out scene as non-binary is like, it's both great and well done. And I loved Anthony Rapp's just performance of Stamets just being like, I'm just so proud of you, but not going to say anything because I don't want to take away from the moment, but I can see it all in your face performance. But also seeing like, I think Star Trek could have been more creative in that way. But ultimately, like, it kind of weighs like, is it important to show what we should be doing today, or is it important to show like the Star Trek future way of how it could be? I don't know, and I think both are arguably worthwhile. But I think Adira is honestly a really. But regardless of that scene specifically, I think Adira is a great character, and Blue Del Barrio performs the character wonderfully, and I'm honestly very excited to see them, and as well as Gray, the trans man character, played by Ian Alexander, who is also really wonderful in future seasons of Star Trek Discovery. I'm excited to see both of them because I think they both do such a great job, and it's so wonderful to have both non-binary and trans representation, especially trans-masculine representation. We don't get enough trans-masculine representation anywhere, enough at all. And we like, there's not a lot of trans representation, but even in the limited trans representation we get, a lot of it is trans feminine or trans women. And so it's nice to see trans masculine and trans men and non-binary representation. I think that's really cool, and I think we need to see more of that. And I think Star Trek doing that is really cool. And I think it's awesome. Now give me more. Like, give me a freaking non-binary give me a freaking non-binary character in Lower Decks. That's what I really want. I want a freaking non-binary character in Star Trek Lower Decks. That's how I want that so badly. I would be very happy with that. All right, moving on. Let's see. I'd be your Boimler. Carla, listen, if you could be my Boimler, hell yeah. We need to get like Mariner, Boimler, all of them. We need to get all of them up in here. I could cosplay Cheetah as Yellow. Thank you, Molly. I'd have to get like the fursuit. That would be like, I need like the furry suit and just show like like go bare breasted, but like with hair on it. I'd be down. I mean, honestly, I'm down for that. I'm not a furry, but I'm not against like doing furry stuff. And again, no shaming to furries whatsoever. I'm just not. But I'm not against doing that type of costuming. I think it'd be kind of fun, actually. Now that you say that, Cheetah's not a character I really love, but I would be fun playing her. But I don't love the character. Cheetah was, even in Wonder Woman 1984 Bly, but even in the comics, I don't really love Cheetah. But fun character to cosplay as, I would presume. James Avery, thank you so much for the super chat. Sorry I'm catching up on this, but heart to you, you are lovely. Hey, Queen, got therapy in 10, but I wanted to send some love your way. You're a nerdy inspo to all of us. Thank you for being you. You make me feel a little braver. Well, thank you very much. And by the way, James, if you, I know I've been ranting a lot at other points in this video, so if I missed, if you didn't hear this or you're just catching it after the fact, I just wanted to let you know, James, thank you for the super chat and thank you for the kind words. You are lovely. And I hope your therapy goes well. Therapy is important. Get therapy. I wish therapy was more ubiquitous and people could afford it and that we didn't shame people for getting therapy, because therapy is freaking amazing and is wonderful, and everyone should be in therapy, regardless of whether you like need it directly, like there's something horrible going on in your life. Like therapy, it's just good to have someone to talk to. I think therapy is really helpful, and we shouldn't shame people for it. And I wish it was more financially accessible to people. It's very important. So, I hope therapy goes well for you. Also, Punk Roxologist, thank you for sharing out that GoFundMe. Let's see. Edward Beador, heart to you again. Wearing the green for you. Also, it weirds me out. I'm looking at the camera here, and it's like half my heart's green, half not. It's kind of funny. About determinism in life only being about causality, the human capacity for self-sacrifice breaks that argument. It also applies to something as small as letting a child go ahead of you in a line. I guess so. I mean, I don't necessarily know if that's... I mean, I'd have to see your philosophy on that, because that's interesting, because I feel like people self-sacrificing is still can still be deterministic. I feel like that, like, we could still, like, there's still some stimuli acting on us. Like, I don't feel like it breaks like, if there's a cause and effect, I don't feel like it breaks a chain to say that someone's self-sacrificing. Like, there is a chain of things that cause someone to sacrifice themselves. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I mean, I don't know if I could never know unless I'm actually in that situation whether I would sacrifice myself for someone else. I would like to think I would, but I won't know until I'm in that situation. But it's like that situation doesn't come out of nowhere. There are other stimuli going on. And so I feel like there's still stimulus working on it. Again, this is like baby philosophy right now that I'm touching upon. So I'm sure there's like a lot more you could go into and delve into with that. But I don't necessarily think that like determinism is somehow negated by the very fact of self-sacrificing or like letting someone else go ahead of you. I mean, honestly, I mean, self-sacrificing and like letting someone go ahead of you in line, I feel like there's some benefit to that as well. Like when I let someone cut ahead of me in line, I know this sounds like unselfish, but I feel like there's an element of like, it makes me feel like a good person. And that's a cause and effect. So I feel like that's still the case, you know? I mean, that's still valuable. I'm not saying it's not, like, it is what it is. I like feeling like a good person. I like helping others. Helping others makes me feel good. And I think that's worth acknowledging. It's not a bad thing to acknowledge that you feel good helping others. That's like a good thing. You shouldn't like feel neutral or bad about helping people. But yeah. When is Discovery coming back, Don? Don says, when is Discovery coming back? It's not officially announced yet, but there's been hints. There's like a trading, one of the Star Trek trading card companies is a company that makes Star Trek trading cards. They pushed back one of their trading card releases, and in the release they said, oh, they're pushing back the release to match up with Star Trek Discovery being released in December. So my guess is, this is just my guess, this is total wild speculation. We officially know, this is what we know. We officially know that Star Trek Lower Decks is coming out in beginning of August 11th or something like that. Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Prodigy have both been announced to come out in 2021. My assumption would be Discovery, if that rumor is true from that trading card company that Discovery is coming out in December, my guess will be Lower Decks is going to go from August till about like October or so. Then immediately after Lower Decks ends, my guess is, and this is speculation, this is not me saying proof, but my speculation is that Prodigy will begin in right after Lower Decks ends. Prodigy will go for another 2 months after that, and then once Prodigy is done, then Discovery starts. Discovery will go for its whole season. Then once Discovery ends, we'll either get Star Trek Picard or Star Trek Strange New Worlds. My assumption would probably get Star Trek Picard, and then Strange New Worlds. But again, I don't know for sure. It could be either of them, but I feel like we'll get one or the other, and then we'll get the other one. So my guess will be it's just going to be a straight line of Star Trek for the next like year. Might be, to be honest with you, with maybe like a few weeks break in between. But for the most part, we're probably just going to get Star Trek for the next straight year, without much break. So yeah, I think Lower Decks, Prodigy, then Discovery starting at the end of this year, going into next year. Then probably my guess would be Star Trek Picard, then Strange New Worlds, but it might be the other way around. And then by that point, it might be time for Lower Decks again, season 3 of Lower Decks, because they're already working on season 3 of Lower Decks as we speak. So might just be keep going with the track. But again, that's all speculation. The only one we officially know of when it's releasing is Lower Decks. But my speculation would say that that's probably going to be how it's going to go. Sarah, thank you so much for the super chat. Heart to you, you lovely human. Mwah. Any other Trek cultures you want to cosplay as? I want to cosplay as the entire culture. I want to cosplay as the entire culture. Andorians. I would love to do Andorians, but that would be hard. I mean, obviously the blue face paint isn't much different than the green face paint, to be honest. But the ear, the antennae might be a little bit difficult. Also, they're all bald, if I recall. So I need like a bald cap thing to go on top to like hide the hair. Because I don't think Andorians have hair. Might be wrong on that. They have beards, as we saw in Star Trek Discovery, but I don't think they have hair. I might be misremembering. But yeah. Probably Andorian would probably be the biggest one. Any other ones? Bajoran would be kind of be fun. Cardassian would be kind of be fun too, only for the aesthetic. I don't really love Cardassians as like a culture because they're kind of very fascisty, but I do like the look of them. But yeah, I would probably say Andorians would probably be the biggest one. I'm trying to think if there's like any other ones that like immediately jump to mind, because most Star Trek races are just people with weird noses, so it's not like that difficult to do a lot of them. Vulcans are fun too, but they're just the ears. So I just have to buy ears. So Vulcans are kind of fun. But I feel like if I was talking about like something that like takes a lot of effort, probably Andorians would be the biggest one. Punk Rock Zoologist, heart to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. You said, okay, got a meeting in 10 minutes, so gotta log off. So gonna say, Jessie, you're great, and your Tim Tams are currently awaiting clearance in LA. I will get the Tim Tams. I'm excited for them. Thank you, Punk Rock Zoologist. Heart to you. Thank you so much for the Tim Tams. You're probably not in the chat anymore, but if you are, sending you love. Punk Rock Zoologist, you are absolutely wonderful. All right, catching up on the chat here. Did I break philosophical, Jessie? You probably did, Edward. You probably did. Lucas, Michaelis asked, Lucas, did you see it and what did you think of it? I'm assuming you're talking about Luca, the Pixar movie, not Lucas, because if you're talking about Lucas, I don't know what that is. But Luca, I loved. Freaking loved. I almost did a video on it, but Rowan Ellis, not Rowan J. Ellis. I was thinking of Rowan J. Coleman. Rowan Ellis did a fantastic video that pretty much sums up all of my thoughts on Luca. I would highly recommend her video on it because that's literally everything. But to give you my thoughts here, I think Luca, the Pixar movie, is utterly fantastic. I adored it. It is so clearly what I think it really does. What I think it does so well is it. And again, we can have a whole conversation about the intention by Pixar and Disney with this. But for me, watching it, what it was perfectly captured is that feeling of feeling different as a kid in a very, very LGBTQ coded context. Like, clearly you can read Luca, and I believe I forget the other boy's name because it's been a couple weeks since I saw the movie. But the other boy, it's like this sense of like, oh, I feel like I'm gay. I feel like I feel something different than other people, like that the society tells me to be, and that most of the people around me do. But you don't know how to articulate or feel it, and it's not even necessarily romantic. And that's what I liked about Luca a lot, because I feel like a lot of the conversation around Luca, when people are saying like this feels very much like a gay metaphor, a lot of people pushed back and they said, well, it's not really a romantic thing. These kids aren't really dating. These kids are like, I forget what their ages are, but they're really young. They're like 10 years old, maybe even younger than that, maybe 8 or something. And so it's like, oh, do we really want to like see gay? Why does it have to be a romance thing? And it's like, well, I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it as being romantic, but I see it as like, you get this feeling like, I feel an affinity for this guy that's a little bit beyond friendship. And it's not necessarily like, I want to have sex with him. I want to romance him. I want to make out with him. It's not that, but it's just like, I feel a love for this person that I feel like goes slightly beyond this. And I'm not entirely sure how to articulate it. I'm not entirely sure what it means. It's that young part of yourself where you're still trying to like figure yourself out, and you're like, because the thing that we forget about children is that with kids, their emotions, their feelings are every bit as powerful as anyone else's. Kids don't have like a diluted sense of emotion. Kids have the same emotions that we have as an adults. They just don't have experience handling it, and they don't have ability to articulate it yet. And so I feel like that movie just so captured that feeling of feeling like an outsider, feeling weird, and not knowing how to articulate it, but just knowing it. And I feel like the movie just really, really captured, really captured that. And 1 second, sorry, I just saw something. Thank you, mods. I just saw someone in the comment chat. So you feel free, mods, the person who just commented that thing that was just hidden, feel free to, if they message again, you feel free to block them or time them out. totally fine with me. But anyways, Luca is, I think it just captures that so well. The other thing too with Luca, and also I just love the Italian setting was so nice. It was like really captured the feeling of having only been in Italy once in my life. I think it really, really captured that really, really well. And so I feel like that it just captured that. The other thing too, while I love the like alien, like the outsider like fish metaphor in the movie, that also kind of codes to the LGBTQ experience and an outsider experience. Not even just LGBT, like the fish metaphor, the outsider experience didn't have to be explicitly LGBTQ. Outsider metaphors can apply to a lot of different things, a lot of different people, like being a nerd, being different ethnicity, things like that. It can apply to a lot of different stuff. But the girl, I forget her name because it has been a hot minute. Oh my gosh, Kathleen and Beth. Yes, Borg. Sorry, yes, Borg. A Borg Jessie would be a lot of fun. To answering Sarah, Borg Jessie would be a lot of fun. That would be expensive though. But the girl, I forget her name, but the girl in Luca. Oh, she was me. She was me to a T. I loved her. Like, I loved, like, every time she opens up the windows and she's just singing random things to the boys. And I'm like, I love you so much. That is me. That is so me. Just random singing. I adored her so much. Julia, yes. She was wonderful. Thank you, Cream Pop. I loved her so much. Oh, she was so me so much. And then when she has the scene when she's talking about astronomy and she like just gives Luca the book because she's just so excited that Luca's interested in astronomy like she is. I'm like, oh, you're a science nerd too. Oh, I love you so much. I love you. She was wonderful. She was wonderful. Absolutely perfectly wonderful. And I adored her so much. Oh, God, she was wonderful. Anyways, I've ranted enough about Luca. Luca's great. I think it's fantastic. Y'all should go watch it if you haven't. It might be one of my favorite Pixar movies. It's kind of sad that it kind of didn't get as much attention as something like Soul or Up, which great movies. Love those movies. But I would have liked to see like some attention for Luca as well, because it was wonderful. It was just as wonderful. Ulysses the Pagan, heart to you. Catching up on some of the chat here. Thank you so much for the super chat. He said, your thoughts to why manga is crushing Western comics? Is it, as some claim, over the West wokeness that sailed it down, or other... Okay, I know this wasn't what you were saying, but, like, it's not wokeness. Like, comics have always been woke. Like, people ranting about, like, Captain America's turned woke because he's saying I turned down Captain, like, America's values, when that's something he was doing since, like, the 60s. Or even before then. Like probably like as soon as like World War II was done, I feel like he was doing shit like that where he's like, we don't need to necessarily buy into the nationalism of this America. The character's always been that way and has done it numerous times. So this like disingenuous Comicsgate nonsense about like, oh, it's wokeness and SJW is putting their forced diversity into my comics is just nonsense and dumb. It really is like, it's just like you could talk about the performative nature of that. I'm here for it. Like, I'm here for, like, oh, they're just tossing, like, minorities into comics without actually representing them well or talking to the minorities. But I feel like comics generally does that better. Like, Loki is done better gender fluid in the comics than he was in the show. Way, way better. They show different... Like, comics have always been, not always perfect, but generally better about representing minorities authentically. Again, not perfectly, but better, generally. But you could talk about the performative nature of that. Like, sometimes, you know, Disney and companies being like, we're just going to toss a minority into the comic, whatever. But I feel like comics, because they get less attention, that's less likely that it's going to be as performative. Because comics just aren't as big as, like, movies and stuff. And movies tend to get more attention, so they tend to be more performative and just things like that. But when you talk about these people yelling about woke SJWs, they're not talking about the performative nature of that as per se. They are to a degree, but what they're saying is that the problem is, they are saying that the problem with that is not necessarily that it's performative. The problem is that, like, oh, or they're saying that it's performative, but they're saying, like, oh, we shouldn't have these people in this comic at all. That's their solution. Their solution is like, this is performative, so we shouldn't have diversity in comics at all because performative diversity just ruins comics. When the answer is that because something's performative doesn't mean that you shouldn't have it. It means you should do it better and do it well. The reason that, like, we are able to write straight white men characters really well is because straight white men are the ones writing it so often, and they're the ones that have been, like, told that we are supposed to be, like, the default characters that we're allowed to invest into, quote unquote. So, like, that's the problem with these, like, people who yell about woke SJW whatever nonsense on their channels. They have to a degree correctly diagnosed the problem. That, like, sometimes when these sort of characters are put minority characters into works, they're sometimes done performatively and not done well because they're just like there to like score those diversity points. Yes. But the issue is that the answer is not we should not have these people in comics. The answer is we should see more minorities in comics and written by more minority people and have them done authentically and have them done well. But they're just using the thing that we like answer to like just pursue bigotry and hatred and saying like we shouldn't see people. It's all just a veil for like homophobia, racism, and all that jazz. It's just a veil for that stuff. So that was my rant on that. Why manga does better than like comics, I don't necessarily know about both of those industries enough to be able to like articulate exactly why I think like one does better than the other. Like I honestly, I would just be wildly speculating on that. So I can tell you my thoughts on just that part of comics, but in terms of like the ability to like why manga does better than comics and the sales of that, I don't even know if that's actually true too. Like I don't necessarily know the sales equating to it, so I honestly don't know. But that's sort of my thought on that. So. And thank you for saying well said and great rant, Captain. I appreciate that copy. I really do. All right. All right, just keep moving on. How will Frakes cameo in Disco? Could be a descendant. Rachel, yeah, it would be wonderful if they got Jonathan Frakes to cameo in Disco. I don't think he will, but it would be kind of fun if they did. It would be like the one Star Trek show that he hasn't cameoed, but at least he's directed it. I think they could probably get him in, like, doing... I'm trying to think how they could do... I mean, a hologram would be the easy answer. Get him in as a hologram. Time travel's always fun. Hologram probably, if they were going to do it, hologram would probably make the most sense, to be kind of frank. It would seem the most kind of... it's forced, but it would seem the kind of most natural in terms of, like, characters be like, let's talk to an ancient captain, as opposed to, like, time travel shenanigans caused Riker to be here. That one feels a little bit more forced, so... And thank you for saying you like my cosplay. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Catching up on, making sure I caught up on all the super chats here because I know I've been kind of ranting for a minute. All right. Yes, there's one more super chat I believe I need to hit. If I missed someone's super chat, please let me know in here. But I just want to quick see. Let's see. Carla, thank you so much for the super chat. Heart to you. You are lovely. She said, hi, Jessie. How are you? Love the cosplay and sending love to all here. Well, Carla, thank you for sending love to me and to everybody. You're all lovely. Carla, I'm doing well. I'm doing well today. It's been fun doing the cosplay stuff, though it's going to be kind of a bitch to clean up my bathroom. Like, literally, as soon as I'm in here, I have to clean up the bathroom and take a shower, and it's going to be a bit of a pain. Let's see. Lisa Garrison. Jesse Gender, can you speak about the cute kiss from last week's Owl House? A few people want to hear you gush about it. Oh, yes. Okay, so Owl House, I'm trying to remember. So the kiss was between Gus and the other, like, illusionist boy, right? I loved that. I thought that was adorable. I thought, like, what I love about Owl House, and I've been enjoying Owl House, nobody snitch. Just saying to the ship. Who's snitching? What's going on? But anyways, sorry, I'm missing some stuff. Owl House. Owl House, I think it was just... What I love about Owl House is, like, it's making explicitly clear that these characters are LGBTQ. Like, you have Gus, who comes out as gay and, like, has the kiss of the boy. You have the main character, and I'm blanking... For some reason, I'm blanking on names. I cannot remember names. I am terrible with remembering. If anyone watches any of my reviews, y'all know I am terrible at remembering character names. Like, names just escape my head. So I'm just going to quick pull up names so I can remember. Luce. Yes, Luce and Amity. Yeah, Amity is the one that I'm thinking of, right? Yes, okay, yes. Luce and Amity. So yeah, what I love... Okay, so this is where my rant is going to go on Owl House. Number one, Owl House is just great. I think the stories are wonderful. I think the characters are wonderful. The animation is wonderful. I love the sort of, like, world building of it. I think it's fantastic. I did a whole review on Owl House Season 1. So Owl House, I think, is phenomenal on that level of things. I think it's just a really, really, really great show just to watch. But what I love in terms of its LGBTQ representation, what I think it does really, really well, that I feel like even stuff like She-Ra didn't do perfectly. At least in terms of its main character, She-Ra and Catra. And Korra definitely didn't do well. Until, like, the last scene of the last episode. What I think Owl House does well is it manages to make it very clear that these characters are LGBTQ in some way. Like in there's one episode, it's minor spoilers for the show. There's an episode of the season 1 where Amity like has to face her biggest fear, and her biggest fear, you can see, is asking Luce out. She has a fear of asking Luce out, and it's something you cannot miss. But when it does that, it never does this sort of thing where it has to beat you over the head with it. It has to be like, and this character is definitely gay. And I think that that's so wonderful, that intelligent writing of being able to just present. All right, sorry, I just got to quick ban someone in the chat here. Thank you, Catherine Lambeth. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I just want to make sure that got messaged. Thank you, Catherine, for dealing with that, and Lisa as well. Thank you for that. What it does so well is it kind of makes that natural. It makes the representation of LGBTQ folks just natural. It doesn't make it a big deal. Doesn't beat you over the head with it. It just makes it natural. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong to have those big moments where you say a character is gay. Those things are just as important and can be done well. Like I think of like Kipo, for example. Kipo in the Age of the Wonder Beasts did a phenomenal job in its first season there's a scene where a character just says flat out, I'm gay. And it's the first time you get that acknowledged. I think it's a really wonderful scene too. These things can be done in conjunction with each other. But I think it's worthwhile, especially in children's media, to just present LGBTQ representation as just natural and normal and told in the same ways that other representations are done. That it's not like you have to come out as LGBTQ, but it's just like, oh, you just figure it out and people are like, oh yeah, you're gay. Cool, that's fine. It's not like a big coming out moment. But again, both things are necessary. Both things are necessary because I feel like it's the same thing that I was talking about with Star Trek earlier before. I feel like it's wrong to say that the one way is better than the other. Having a naturalistic depiction of things, of just, it comes out of nowhere, it just comes out naturally from the character, not out of nowhere, but just comes out naturally out of the character, we don't have to make a big deal of it. That's important to show. I think we need to see that. But it's also important because of the way that LGBTQ just in real life is so politicized and so hard, and like coming out is still part of a huge process of being LGBTQ. Coming out is an important part of that process. I feel like that we also need to see those coming out stories. We need to see those moments where it just like makes coming out feel okay. And so it's these things like we tend to get, when we talk about representation, we tend to get into these modes, these assumptions where it's like, we tend to get into these assumptions like, oh, it needs to be done this way to be right. That like, oh, a good representation of a trans character is a trans character who never faces any trauma whatsoever. Or it's like, no. When we talk about the things, it's just sort of like, usually it's like, well, trans characters have always been portrayed traumatically in almost every single appearance. Like, name me a trans character that hasn't experienced some trauma because of them being trans. I feel like the only character you could think of is like Adira. Like Adira has faced trauma, but has not faced trauma for being non-binary, which I think is really cool. But I think we need to make room for like multiple versions of characters within the LGBTQ experience and multiple different examples. And I feel like there isn't one way to do it correctly. I feel like there are ways to do it incorrectly, and I feel like the two things that this is actually, now that I think about it, the way the conversation should be framed is not, this is how it should be done, necessarily. I feel like the conversation should be, this is how you don't do representation, and number two, this is the type of representation we don't need more of. Because I think those are two separate things. There are ways to just represent trans people or LGBTQ people like as stereotypes, as whatever, that I think just don't do that, ever. Ever again. Just get rid of it. Tired of it. Don't need to see, like, stereotypical, like, that representation. Or, like, just, straw manning what LGBT people are. So we can just toss that out, toss it in the bin, never want to see it again in a story. I'm done with that. But there's the second thing, it's like, I don't think we need any more of these stories right now. Like a Bury Your Gays story, for example. I think there are many stories that involve a LGBTQ person dying that could be excellent stories. That could be really great stories. I think you can make the argument that there are many stories like that can be told. I don't think that that you shouldn't kill LGBTQ people. What I am saying is that I have seen enough of the bury your gays trope in my lifetime of the past few years that I don't need it anymore. I want more stories that are just telling LGBT people that we can live lives and like live lives happily. We can have our happy ever after. We don't have to end in trauma, sadness, or pain. I'm not saying you can't tell those stories. I'm not saying those stories can't be done well, but I'm saying if you are a writer who wants to try to do something new, to try and do something exciting, who wants to try to like push forward storytelling in a new way, why lean into these tropes? Why not do something better? Why not do something helpful? Why not do something that like would make LGBTQ people feel good about ourselves, you know? And so I feel like that's the distinction. I think we should shift the conversation to those two things. I feel like those are the two ways we should have the conversation. About what needs to be tossed in the bin and what things need to not be shown anymore. For at least for a while. So. Fingersmith, Jessie. Also, I missed a few other super chats here. And I know I'm sorry. And by the way, thank you to the mods. There's been a few trolls in the chat. And so I just want to say thank you to the mods for catching those. I really appreciate all of you. Extra heart to the mods. You guys all got me on political Jessie tonight. You guys got me on political, Jessie. Really, like, Tendi is being political this evening. So apologies if I missed some of your chats here. But Kathleen and Beth, heart to you. Thank you for the fun stream, and I'm glad. I really appreciate your present. Your present was wonderful. So you are lovely. And I'll thank you in person for it because you're. For those of you who don't know, Kathleen and Beth is one of my patrons, and one of the patron goals is that you can like have conversations with me. So I actually know Catherine. And so I will thank you in person for that. Let's see here. Geek Filter, heart to you. Thank you so much. For your information, many Orions have been pirates for over 5 years. That line that you just referenced, Geek Filter, I literally talk about extensively in my video on Lower Decks. So that line specifically will get talked about on Lower Decks, and I'm sure you and I will talk about it. We love political Jessie. Okay, now just so everyone knows, I am officially caught up on the stream chat, and I'll be hanging out for another 10 more minutes or so. So if I miss some stuff between the last Geek Filter super chat and where the chat is right now as we speak, that's where I'm at, so I might have missed something. So if there's a question that you want me to answer or something you want to draw my attention to, I'm caught up on the chat right now. So we can talk about that. I'm going to the Lower Decks vid. I haven't done so the Lower Decks video I just shot today, hence the makeup. So the video will be up in a few weeks probably. I have to edit it and everything. So Black Cover 95. What do you think of hasn't Star Trek always had transgender characters? I don't remember your comment. If you made it today or if you made it recently, I'll be able to comment it as I read it. But for a lot of comments, I get like hundreds of comments on my YouTube channel every day, and I read every comment. By the way, like that may not be feasible, for the rest of for going forward. Like I may not be able to read every comment, but for right now and for the foreseeable future, I try to read every single comment that gets posted on every single one of my videos. So I read them all. But I don't necessarily remember them all after the fact because I get so many of them. So I read them all and I'll respond to some of them. And I do read them, but I don't remember specifically. So Black Cover, if you want me to respond to it and I didn't respond to it in the actual video, feel free to post a condensed version in the chat here. And I'll respond to it here. But yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. So sorry, apologies. We're at the part of the chat that we're all nerds. I mean, we're all nerds, Ulysses. We're all nerds. Coffee nerd. Tendi for Federation President. Yes, I'm here for that. That's the kind of representation I want. Of course, it would probably being in politics would probably ruin the innocent spirit of Tendi, but that's the kind of politics I'm here for. I want a legitimately good person, but again, like sadly, politics doesn't always do that. So. Oh yeah, Angie. Angie P. Yeah, Angie and I. We for those of you who don't know, Angie came into Seattle with her family, and we had lunch the other day. By the way, Angie, I feel bad. I meant to say in person to you when we were at lunch the other day. I meant to say thank you for getting me him back there. But I meant to say that in person, but I forgot to say it, and I felt bad after the fact that I didn't actually say thank you. in person for that. So thank you for that birthday gift. I really appreciate it. And it was really nice to meet you in person. So Angie, that was a really wonderful. We went out and had Thai food. It was really delicious, right? It was curry. We had curry. Right? Am I crazy now? Now I'm questioning myself. Well, we had curry, and it was delicious, and I loved it, and it was wonderful to meet your family. Your family is absolutely wonderful. So, excuse me. Sudi Love, thank you so much for the super chat. You are lovely. Heart to you. Thank you so much. You said Lower Decks is one of my favorite Star Trek shows in ages. Love the cosplay. Yay! Hell yes, mine too. Sudi Love. That's why I'm doing literally a whole video. I'm doing a whole video on why I'm in this cosplay. I mentioned this earlier in the chat, but I'm doing a whole video on why I love Lower Decks. It's kind of like a self-care video. I just rant about why I love Lower Decks. It's my favorite modern Trek show and is easily my top 3. It might honestly, it's only one season, so I can't say definitively yet. But I will say this: Lower Decks has the potential to become my favorite Star Trek series. Period, hands down, no questions asked. Like I feel like I kind of say I have 3 favorite Star Trek shows right now. Like, don't get me wrong, I love every single Star Trek show. I love Discovery, I love Picard, I love all of them. I'm not putting down those shows. But when I say this, but what I am saying is my 3 favorite Star Trek shows: Enterprise, Deep Space Nine, Lower Decks. Enterprise, look, I love that Black Sheep. I know Enterprise is not the best Star Trek show. I know it's qualitatively is not the best Star Trek show, but I love it. It was the first Star Trek that I got to watch. I think there's a lot of good there. I think it is underappreciated and underseen, but also I know it has a lot of flaws, and a lot of the flaws that are highlighted that highlight why Star Trek almost died, because it kind of lost the threat. It kind of got stuck up its own butt of what Star Trek had to be. It didn't really push the boundaries enough until too late, and that's why it got canceled eventually. It did start to push boundaries, but not until too late, and it kind of got in this head of what Star Trek needed to be, and that kind of was what killed it eventually. And it started to break out of that and gave us some great stories, but it was sadly too little too late at that point. So that being said, Star Trek Enterprise I love, but I think the best qualitative Star Trek show is Deep Space Nine. I feel like Deep Space Nine is the best Star Trek show, period, in terms of just quality. Next Generation gets up there too, but Deep Space Nine I think is probably the best qualitative Star Trek show. But Lower Decks just has this perfect mixture of everything that I love about Star Trek. It is irreverent and weird, and like highlights the strangeness of it. It has the geekery enthusiasm that I love in nerddom and for Star Trek. It just has that enthusiasm for the same thing that I love. Like, Lower Decks has as much enthusiasm about Star Trek as I have about Star Trek. And I love that about the show. But then, it also upholds everything that I love about Star Trek too. So it has this irreverence, it has this comedy, and yet it still stays true to what Trek is. It still has that optimism, it still has that joy, it still has that kindness. And so that's what I really love about Lower Decks. It just, this perfect mixture for me is like, I love irreverent comedy. I love, like, you know, commenting and criticizing things that I love. And yet I also love that it upholds everything that I love. So I just think Lower Decks is phenomenal. So, Edward Bedor, heart to you. You said rewatch Tortured up until Children of Earth. I need therapy now. Oh God. Children of Earth. If you haven't seen it, Children of Earth, Torchwood Children of Earth, great season. It's probably the best thing Torchwood did. It's legitimately great. I love Children of Earth. It is depressing as all hell. One of the most depressing seasons of television I've ever seen. It is good. It is good. But dang is it hard. So, but great show. I like Torchwood. I even like Miracle Day. Everyone hates Miracle Day. It's definitely not its best, but I didn't hate Miracle Day. Yeah, exactly, Jessica. Children of Earth is great. I will never watch it again. Yeah, I agree, Jessica Walls. I agree 100% with you. Let's see. No, Angie! Kid just dropped coleslaw. Oh, no. Oh, no. Adorable. Hey, Luman Gaming. Good to see ya. Oh, Badgie, Molly, Badgie is great. I love Badgie. I love Badgie. Ulysses the Pagan, enjoy The Long Shot. It's a great movie. I like The Long Shot. I thought that was a nice movie. One of Seth Rogen's best. Plus, you get President. Why am I blanking on her name? Oh my God, she's one of my favorite actors. Furiosa. Oh my gosh, names. I can never remember names. This is the worst thing with me is names. I am terrible with names. It is literally the bane of my existence. I despise names. The actress who played Furiosa. Oh man, I can't remember. I can't remember Charlie's Throne. Thank you, Sam Miller. I really appreciate it. Yes, no, Charlie's. Yeah, The Long Shot. It's like Seth Rogen and Charlie's Throne. Great movie. The opening 10 minutes alone. Legitimately, the opening scene with Seth Rogen in The Long Shot is worth the price of admission alone. If any of you have not seen The Long Shot, it's a really decent romantic comedy. I really enjoyed it. Literally, the first 10 minutes. If you don't have the time to watch the movie, watch the first 10 minutes. I nearly died. It is hysterical. The rest of the movie's solid too, but the first 10 minutes alone is phenomenal. I love it. All right. Edward Bedor, Miracle Day heavy until the final episode. Heart to you, by the way, Edward. I maybe do my best crusty impression and go, what the hell was that? See, that's the thing. That's my thing with Miracle Day. I like Miracle Day quite a bit. I feel like it's a little bit too long. It could have been like 7 or 8 episodes instead of like 10, maybe even less than that. But I feel like for the most part of it, it actually does it does things really well. The episode where, without spoiling too much about Miracle Day if you haven't seen it, the episode where you see the camps that they put people into, like the people who like they're trying to kill off. That sounds horrible, but it is, but in a different way than you would expect, that I'm alluding to if you haven't seen the show. But that episode is disgusting and horrifying and absolutely terrifying. But makes perfect sense. It's kind of like Children of Earth in that way, where it's showing politics and bureaucracy justifying terrible things out of like necessity. It's like, we need to do this, and justifying atrocious, horrible, disgusting things. It's a really great look at how, and this is the same thing Children of Earth did, how politics dehumanizes people and is able to separate themselves from the ramifications of how they have, and is self-protecting instead of helping others. It showcases that exact idea. Like that's what those later seasons of Torchwood are all about, Children of Earth and Miracle Day. It's how bureaucracy and governments, when faced with situations that are hellish and awful, tend to think more about their own politics rather than actually helping people, and only do the bare minimum and try to save their skins, and they're able to dehumanize themselves from actually considering and caring about people, like actual people in actual situations. So that's really wonderful. But then Miracle Day bungles it because the final episode is horrible. Because they set up this really cool idea, and then they were clearly like, we don't know how to explain it. So it's just whatever. It's some weird underground earth vagina thing. It was very strange. So yeah, the final episode is dumb, but I feel like it kind of wasn't the point anyways. Like I could have cared less if there was no explanation for why people don't die in that show, in that season. I would have been fine with it. I didn't need the explanation. I think it was more interesting just to explore the ramifications of it. But they did, and it was dumb. So that was the problem with Miracle Day, I feel like. Yeah. Let's see. Carla, heart to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. You said, any news on upcoming videos you could share? Did you choose a different time for game stream? Have a great night. Okay. Yes. And speaking of which, I'm probably going to wrap out the stream now. So, this will be the last question to answer, and then we can sort of wrap out for the evening. Cause I gotta go take a shower, and then I gotta eat. Cause I gotta take a lot of shower to get this green stuff off. And thank you, Geek Prime 009. But to quick talk about upcoming stuff, to sort of wrap out on, tomorrow, in fact, while I'm saying this, I will quick put it up, for everybody. Manage videos. Tomorrow's video is going to be kind of a different one. If you're a patron, you've already seen the video. But it is one that is going to be kind of different. It's going to go up tomorrow. Let me just quick set this live. So I'll send you all the links so you have it. Tomorrow's video is going to be a monologue. It's going to be a difficult one, and it's going to be on puberty and transgender puberty blockers. I just shared the link in the chat if you want that. So that video I just set it to premiere tomorrow. We'll be watching it at 11 o'clock tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting one. I think it will be something new and unique, and people from patrons seem to really enjoy it. So I hope you all do too. Some other ones that I'm really excited for. Next month, or the week after this one, it might be switched out, but either next week's or the week after next is going to be one of the most personal videos that I've ever done. It is, how best to explain it. It is a video where I'm going to be talking about grief and death, and kind of talking about my grandmother. For those of you who don't know, my grandmother passed away from COVID-19 a few a few months ago. And because of that, you know, I found some of her old writings that she wrote and was trying to deal with grief, with handling her death. And so this video that you'll see in a week or two is a video that is me processing grief in a nerdy lens because of me, and sort of looking at grief through a nerdy lens, and also using her writings as a guide and trying to show who she was. And I think it is one of my favorite videos that I've ever done, but it was also one of the most difficult and emotionally cathartic videos I've ever done. I don't know if it's going to do well, but honestly, I don't care. I think it was helpful for me to make. I feel like, I hope people who get to watch it will get the same sense of catharsis watching it that I got to make it. But regardless, I think it was just important for me to make. And if it does really well in the algorithm, that's wonderful. But I ultimately just hope that the goal of it is already done. It was there to help me. And I feel like the only hope that I have for it now going forward, once I release it, is that those of you who do watch it will have some semblance of the emotional catharsis that I was able to have making it, because it was meaningful to me. And I hope that if I was able to impart even part of that processing through the video, I will have succeeded. And if it even helps one person, I mean, that's the case with most of my videos, as long as like affects one person. But like this one especially, I feel like I think it's just going to be that level of things, if that makes any sense. So that's the videos coming up. I got a few other ones that I'm working on, the Lower Decks one included, and there's a few other things on the horizon, but those are sort of the immediate future. So tomorrow's video is going to be kind of a monologue, something new, trying a new format, just for fun, just trying something else out new. So so we'll watch that tomorrow. I hope you'll all enjoy that one. And then it'll be either next week or the week after will be that death video. So I hope you enjoy it. Also, by the way, I saw Lore Reloaded. Heart to you, my friend. Go check out Lore Reloaded's channel, amazing person, really kind person, has helped me out and also just been wonderful and kind. So please go check out Lore Reloaded's channel, wonderful human being. And thank you for the super chat. You lovely dork. And thank you, by the way. I see people in the chat here saying I have no doubt it'll be beautiful, talking about the video, and all that stuff, saying I lost mine a few years ago. Sorry for your loss. I appreciate all of you. Sending you love. To everyone who's lost someone, who is dealing with grief, who sends me love about my grandmother, I'm sending you all love and giving you all hugs and just saying thank you for that. So, yeah. I feel like on that note, kind of a sad one, but I think an important one. Just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for loving the cosplay too. I see people saying they love the cosplay. Thank you for that. I feel like the video will be fun. But regardless, thank you for being a wonderful community. Thank you for being people that I enjoy hanging out with. Thank you for letting me sit here in green for a whole time. And I send you love and I send you thanks and I wish you all the best. And I will see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, by the way, sorry. One other thing. I will see you tomorrow for the video, which will be at 11. Drunk Gaming is going to stay Saturday for this week, but I might in the near future start moving it to Sundays, just because I want to have Saturdays free to do other things in my life. But for right now, at least for next week and maybe the week after, it's still going to stay Saturday. So don't worry, it's not going to change just yet, but I might be moving it to Sunday in the nearest future. So Drunk Gaming is still Saturday this week, so we will still have Saturday drunk streaming this week. So logistic stuff, just for stuff to expect coming up. Tomorrow, video at 11. Excited for you to see that one. Saturday, drunk streaming, and then I'll be back next week for the next chat stream. So until then, I love you all. I hope you live long and prosper, and I will see you all tomorrow at 11. Or on Saturday, either or. Love y'all. Talk to you later. Where's the button? Oh god! Oh god, I don't have the button. I'm not even playing a joke here. I don't have the button. Oh crap. I need to actually log into this thing. Crap. Usually I just have the button not there, but now I need to actually legitimately log in. Wow, way to ruin the end of the stream. Alright, here's the button. Now I have it. Okay. Alright, everyone. Now that I have the button to end the stream, I love you all, and I will see you all tomorrow.